r/ask Reddit. What is your weird flex but okay? I maxed my RuneScape account out with all level 99 skills the same day I lost my virginity. Whoa, not everyone can so easily point to the day they peaked. Naturally, nothing makes you more attractive than a maxed RuneScape account. After reading on Reddit that I was entitled to it as a citizen, I emailed the Canadian government and they sent me a portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I wrote to the White House asking them to send a birthday card to my great-grandma when she turned 102 and they did. Can I see it? No. See more. The house is on fire. I have no money to my name but I'm also debt-free finally. So basically, you're worth exactly nothing. Not a positive number, but not a negative number either. Not bad really. Better than a lot of people. Congrats on being debt-free. Sounds weird to say this, but I'm jealous that he's worthless. That's okay. Maybe if you work really hard, someday you can be worthless too. My favorite line from The Fresh Prince was when Will was volunteering in Ghetto and the local was implying he was a rich kid and Will says, "Rich kid? I'm from West Philly. We were so poor we had to save up to be broke." Not me, but my dad. For reference, he is 81 years old. Whenever anyone mentions grapes, he loves to talk about how many grapes he can eat. No one has eaten more grapes than him. The other day he told me that I will never eat as many grapes as he has even if I live to be 100. Got any grapes? Waddle waddle. This sounds like my dad. He can put away grapes like no other. I know someone who would disagree. My Reddit account is most likely older than yours. 12 years. My god. It's older than some people on here, Jesus. It's older than most 11-year-olds. Let's not exaggerate. I'll preface this by saying I suck at most video games, but Geometry Wars is and my cousin's absolute jam. My cousin and I hit number 1 in the world in ranked competitive co-op king mode, Xbox One. I'll never forget the feeling of being number 1 in the world at something, even if it's pretty niche. We had an amazing run and it took half a year before someone finally topped it. In individuals, what most people would play, the best we could do is my cousin hitting number 3 and me hitting number 6 in the world. But as a team we crushed. It took hundreds upon hundreds of hours of playing to hit that level. Love those games. Props to you, man. The king mode was tough and pretty different specific compared to the rest of the game modes. Thanks, man. It's a very unique mode. We did well in other modes but we focused almost 100% on king. It was a total blast. I remember us going if we could just hit the top 5,000 then that would be great. Then it became if we could hit the top 1,000 that would be amazing. And it kept going and going until we hit number 1. I'll never forget it because we did it on New Year's Eve. We planned on going out and hitting up the town. But to kill some time before going out we played Geometry Wars. We were having a particularly good day and kept on hitting the top 100. Next thing we know it's 1 AM and we had the best run we ever had. It was like everything was in slow motion and it all clicked. We didn't do the normal night partying that night, but it was still the most memorable night I've had. I'll never forget it. We sunk countless hours into that game. I can't run while in a backbend like a weird demon thing edit. Like actually running, not walking, like a full sprint. Ooh, I've seen someone do this before. It was so awesome. Scared the hell out of some people in a craft store. I have contraband cat toys. They're illegal in my country because they don't meet the safety requirements for children's toys, which pet toys have to meet here. But I have some contacts at a pet supplies manufacturer, and they were able to import some for research and development, so we reached an agreement. Just admit it, you shoved a bunch of cat toys into your butt. No judgment here. I've bowled 5 perfect games and have a high series of 834 over 3 games. Damn, my weird flex is a perfect game. I can't even imagine 5. I almost choked so hard and got so lucky on a Brooklyn strike at then end. I'm sure I'd choke if I wasn't drinking. I broke my hip when I was 13 and I walked on it for 2 months, like a boss. That said, a week ago I smashed my thumb and nearly fainted from the pain, Bro, you okay? It's been 22 minutes and he hasn't responded. I'm afraid he may already be gone. Don't worry, man. He's just gone to the store to pick up some apples. He'll be back tomorrow. In first grade my mom told me if I got 100% on 10 spelling tests in a row I'd get a Trapper Keeper. I had the coolest Trapper Keeper in class. I have cheated on a test exactly once in my life, and it was a 6th grade spelling test so I could get candy. Rewards can be very motivating. I have never gone into my overdraft. My idol. That's a flex. I had a £900 interest-free overdraft on my bank account in the UK. I moved to the US, but still occasionally needed to buy things in the UK so I eventually started going into that overdraft a bit, but just being too lazy to wire funds over to clear it out. It only goes to about £200. I largely forget about it. About 5 years later, my sister gets a letter for me. All my UK mail goes to her place now, saying that they are removing my interest-free overdraft, and I need to clear the balance. So, I wire across the required £200, and forget all about it again. I also get a credit card with no international fees, so I no longer need to use that account, and I just keep it around for posterity. Fast forward 3 years, and my sister gets another letter saying that my bank account is £900 overdrawn, and that I need to do something about it. I'm obviously very confused, so I log into the bank account and see that when I wired £200 3 years earlier, the interest rates changed very slightly, and it became £198, leaving me £2 overdrawn. But Max, I hear you say, why didn't you send more than £200 just in case, you cheap bastard? To which I shrug unconvincingly and explain that I'm Scottish. The bank then charged me £25 per month overdraft fees, which eventually racked up to almost £1,000. Fortunately, when I got in touch with them, they laughed, waived the fees, and all was right with the world. Then I wired a couple $1,000 into that account to clear out the £2, with a bit of a buffer, which has come in handy since. 2. I can play almost a dozen musical instruments very poorly. Oh, so you were a music major in college? I've had something resembling a date within the last few months. I have a 100% record in spearfishing, 1 throw and 1 kill, with a whittled stick. I immediately retired forever so that I can preserve my record. Also recently I dropped $1 on the ground and one of my pet goats ate it instantly before I could pick it up. The only way I felt I could redeem myself was to flex on him by waving a 20 in his face. I have the same thing in basketball. I took exactly 1 shot in my first game and made it. My next game I immediately broke my arm shoulder badly and had to get surgery. I was out of work for a month. Needless to say I don't play basketball anymore, but at least I'll always have that 100% record. P.S. Take vitamin D, kids. One of my acquaintances does not know that I'm not autistic. It's like that episode of The Office where they convince Holly that Kevin is developmentally disabled, and she spends the entire episode patronizing him. He thinks she's flirting. That was of course before the writers doubled down and just made Kevin being mentally challenged a real character trait of his. Dude, he was only pretending to be retarded. He spent years skimming off the top. When he got fired he bought a bar. Dude was embezzling. I made him repeat what he did time for a couple times, because it sounds a lot like what I do here, every single day. I haven't vomited since 2015. Vomit free since '93. And the streak continues. I contribute a lot to the sale of chocolate milk in my town. Edit. No, I'm not the kid that left town to go to college. I'm not that old. I have a poster of a skiing monkey. Yo, I wanna see skiing monkey. I have a really good memory. It just won't let me forget what that bad thing that a girl said to me back in 3rd grade was. LOL, same. A girl with the same skin tone as me said I had a gross skin color. She said I was brown, but she was just dark blonde. Everyone agreed with her. This happened when I was 6 years old. I've met the guy who voiced Spider-Man in the 60s cartoon. That's actually awesome. I own a Nintendo Power Glove. When I was 13, I was so popular on Tumblr that people started sending me threats. My different color eyes. I am not even mentioning it. My friends say this as soon as they introduce me to somebody. I have it too. My friends do the same thing, LOL. I can hang on a bar for over a minute with only one arm. Never tried my maximum. I got a strong grip basically. My old karate teacher knew one of the actors martial artists who played one of the Ninja Turtles in the live action movies. He brought him to our school and he gave us a small 2-hour seminar. So I'm legit trained by a Ninja Turtle, no big deal. A lot of people on here know me as the Eargasm guy because one time when I was having sex after showering, the water in my ear popped at the same time as I came. It was one of the strangest and greatest feelings I have ever experienced. Whoa, 2 holes blowing at once. I didn't know I wanted this strange feeling until now. I was born with 2 holes where the soft palate of my mouth meets the hard palate that go directly to my sinuses there. This wouldn't be a flex, except that it lets me make some real neato sounds. Most famously one kinda like a red-tailed hawk's scream. Pain in the butt for nosebleeds though. I once accidentally nutted on a fly passing by and killed it. The sniper. Nobody likes me so nobody talks to me so I get to live in peace and quiet. I'm pretty good at timing things without a watch or clock. For example, putting something in the microwave for 3 o'clock. I'll leave the kitchen and come back within about 5 seconds of it being done. Or starting a large file transfer that'll take like 45 minutes. I'll come back to it with just a few seconds remaining. I'm also pretty good at guessing what time it is. Plus 5 minutes. Whenever I drink coffee, the next time I pee it smells like burnt coffee grounds. Youngest person to be awarded the Australian Sports Medal in 2000. The award means pretty much jack shit and my sporting career actually ended before I was even awarded the medal, so it's even more pointless on me in reality. Can somebody explain this for someone who's 47? That title makes 0 sense. What weird thing can you brag about that's not really a brag? Mine is I have really good eyesight. Thank you so much. I have no idea how you can get what you said from that. God, I'm old. Weird flex but okay is a phrase people say more often on the internet and real life when somebody brags about something odd, the brag being metaphorically compared to flexing your muscles. The title sounds odd because they use the entire phrase as the object of the sentence without bothering to put it in quotes to differentiate it or anything, so it just looks like an abomination of grammar. I am really good at taking care of disabled parakeets. I remember almost everything to the point where I honestly hate it. I have several of the exact same vacuum cleaners for various parts of the house. Why? I don't like the rollers from garage porch vacuums touching the carpet inside of the house, for example. Only the vacuum for the carpet can touch the carpet. My gynecologist told me I have a cool uterus. Because of fandom and MMOs I can curse in both Klingon and Mandalorian. Mandoa. I may not have the best body but it sure does do an amazing job at keeping all my organs in place. I made a model of Squidward with huge anime titties. I can cook a minute rice in 59 seconds. If someone is wearing cologne, perfume or has an otherwise strong scent, I can follow their path up to 10 minutes later. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.